Ready for baseball here at White House Field in Harwich. It's the Cotuit Kettleers matching up against an Eastern Division foe, the Harwich Mariners, today on a beautiful Sunday, ready for some Cape League baseball. Happy to have you with us, Sam Neidermann, alongside Sam Brief, broadcasting behind home plate. Cotuit will send Robertson up to the plate first against the right-hander Ty Buckner, who winds up overhead and deals in a first pitch called strike behind the plate. And we're underway here in Harwich. Kettleers in the traveling maroon uniforms with the white pinstripe pants, trimmed in navy with the letters and numerals. Robertson takes a big hack through a fastball high and away, and he's down in the count immediately on Buckner, 0-2. Harwich in their home cream uniforms, a very nice vintage template trimmed in navy and red. Buckner missing with an off-speed pitch low. It's 1-2 to Robertson. Harwich, the starting defense. Around the infield, Aaron Shunk, the third baseman. Tanner Morris is at shortstop. Jordan Green, the second baseman, and Andre Lipsius at first base. Buckner, with his glove by his chin, winds up the 1-2. Tapped over to shortstop. Morris will range over to second and make the play. A good throw on to first for the first out of the inning. Robertson goes down 6-3. Buckner retiring the leadoff man. The rest of the Harwich defense, Ben Norman is the left fielder, Matt Gorski the center fielder, and Chris Galland out in right field. Battery mate for Buckner today, Brad Debo from NC State. He's the catcher with the red Harwich gear. Here's Duke Ellis with one out and nobody aboard, showing bunt but taking a pitch outside for ball one. Batting from the left side, the center fielder out of Texas, coming into today after going 0 for 3 with 2 walks and a run scored in the win over Hyannis. The 1-0 from Buckner. That's zipped in and sound crispy right there on the knees. A called strike from Mike Finn, home plate umpire for today. 1-1 the count to Ellis. He fouls back another pitch over towards the parking lot. It's 1-2. Kettleers coming off the 8-3 victory over Hyannis yesterday. That snapped a 2-game skid, much needed for Mike Roberts' side. They had a rainy day chat on Thursday, got things together, and figured things out to get the win. A 2-2 count to Ellis here. One out here in the top of the first and nobody aboard. Buckner's 2-2, called strike right down the pipe with a fastball. That's a strikeout for out number 2.
Buckner zipping it in real well so far. He looks very crisp. The Kettleers got to avoid going down 1-2-3 in the first, which has plagued them this season. It was no problem yesterday against Hyannis. They went down 1-2-3, came back with 3 runs in the second, but he'd like to avoid getting Buckner in a rhythm.
Michael Tolia steps in against Ty Buckner, who's retired the first batters he's faced. Tolia, the switch hitter, batting from the left side, takes a fastball low and away for ball 1. Kettleers 7-4 against the East Division this season. As Tolia takes again down low, 2-0 the count to the big man out of UCLA. 0 for 5 yesterday, just a day after breaking out of his slump with 2 home runs in the loss against Falmouth. Buckner winds up, the righty kicks and deals. There's a smash high in the air towards right field. That ball, track it out of here. Michael Tolia, round tripper, right out of the gate. A solo shot here in the first, and the Kettleers pounce on top in Harwich, 1-0.
How about Michael Tolia swinging the bat so well as of late? 2 home runs a couple days ago against Falmouth. Yesterday he had 2 really deep fly balls that almost got out 400 feet to center. One was robbed, and this time a home run his first at bat. He's clearly turned it around, got his power swing back, and boy, it's good to have that back.
Tolia giving the Kettleers an early lead here in Harwich. That was a hot shot in the air towards right field, and a no-doubter. Chris Galland for Harwich ran out of real estate pretty quick, and that got out of here in a hurry. And just like that, 1-0 Cotuit in the top of the first. So still 2 outs, and now Thomas Dillard, the batter, another lefty. Down in the count, 0-1 on Buckner. Breaking pitch runs in at the shins and skips behind to the backstop. It's 1-1. How about Michael Tolia, his 3rd home run in 3 games. He leaps out of the gate on this one, giving Cotuit an early lead. Buckner's 1-1 to Dillard. There's a called strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Vast green tree line, very Lowell Park-esque here at White House Field. You can even see some dirt dunes out in the left center alley behind the fence. Dillard takes again. It's 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of 1. Tolia's solo smash gives the Kettleers a 1-0 lead. 2-2. Called strike. Another good fastball from Buckner. And he strikes out Dillard, looking to retire the side. But the Kettleers strike first. Michael Tolia, the solo home run, giving Cotuit a 1-0 lead here on the road at Harwich. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning. This is Cotuit Kettleers baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Back at it here in our News Radio 960 WERC studios, broadcasting high atop Red Mountain overlooking the Magic City tonight. It's the Birmingham Bulls and Huntsville Havoc at the second intermission, 6-2 in favor of Huntsville. I'm Sam Neidermann. Good to have you along with us tonight. Pat Bosley on the board, doing a great job as always, and Eli Gold providing the play-by-play at the Von Braun Center this evening. NCAA Tournament Elite Eight action today. The first ticket to the Final Four in San Antonio has been punched, and it belongs to the Cinderella story of the tournament. The 11th seeded Loyola Chicago Ramblers take down Kansas State 78-62. Loyola heading to the Final Four for the first time since 1963. The Ramblers become just the 4th 11th seed to reach the Final Four, joining LSU from 1986, George Mason's 2006 squad, and VCU from 2011. Loyola, what can you say? They've had the magic touch from the field all tournament long. They shot a scorching 57% in the win today. Ben Richardson had a game-high 23 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Dante Ingram chipped in 12 points and 8 rebounds. The Ramblers and Sister Jean rambling on to San Antonio. West Regional Final between the 3-seed Michigan opposite 9-seed Florida State and the Staples Center in Los Angeles. At the half, Michigan at 27-26, 1-point edge. John Beilein, jacket off, sleeves rolled up in his halftime interview, and everything's going to get serious in the second half as Michigan leading in a hard-fought game at the break. Charles Matthews, a 10-point performance in the first half on 3 of 6 shooting. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman, 6 points as well with 3 rebounds for the Wolverines. Michigan trying to return to the Final Four for the second time under head coach John Beilein. Wolverines last made it in 2013. Of course, that was the year when they lost in the national championship to Louisville. Florida State hanging in there, only down by 1 at the half in their first Elite Eight since 1993. The Noles looking to reach the Final Four for the first time since 1972. We'll keep you updated on that one if we get a chance here. They come out of the half. Michigan a 27-26 lead over Florida State. Previewing tomorrow's Elite Eight games, number 1 seed Villanova opposite 3rd seed Texas Tech in the East Regional Final at TD Garden in Boston. Tip-off scheduled for 1:20 tomorrow afternoon on CBS. Villanova in position to make their second Final Four in 3 years. Texas Tech swimming in uncharted waters as the Red Raiders are playing in their first Elite Eight in program history. The Red Raiders topped Purdue last night in the Sweet 16. Keenan Evans led 4 Tech players in double figures with 16 points. Villanova outslugged West Virginia in the Sweet 16. The Wildcats' balanced attack was led by Jalen Brunson with 27 and Amari Spellman, who had 18. In Boston, it's been a good regional site for Nova. The Wildcats won the East Regional Final at TD Garden in 2009, advancing Nova to their first Final Four of Jay Wright's era. Of course, that game saw Scotty Reynolds go coast to coast with seconds remaining to knock off the number 1 seed Pittsburgh. That was a great game back in the good old days when we had the old Big East. It'll be a battle of blue bloods in the Midwest region as number 1 seed Kansas clashes with 2nd seeded Duke at the CenturyLink Center in Omaha. Tip-off scheduled for 4:05 after Game 1 on CBS as well. Duke 4th all-time with 16 Final Four appearances. Kansas 5th all-time with 14 Final Fours. Kansas is in their 3rd consecutive Elite Eight. However, Bill Self's side has lost in their last 2 trips. The Jayhawks will look to break through to San Antonio through 7-foot sophomore Udoka Azubuike. The big man racked up 14 points and 11 boards in the Sweet 16. Azubuike will duel with Duke's forward Marvin Bagley. For the freshman, Bagley has tallied 22 points in each of Duke's first 3 tournament games. The 3-ball, that might be the key in this matchup. Kansas has hit 10 or more three-pointers for the 19th time this season in their Sweet 16 win over Clemson last night. The Jayhawks are 17-2 when they make 10 or more from downtown. They'll need the long ball to counter Duke's new zone defense. Coach Mike Krzyzewski, he made the late season switch to a zone, and that has prodded the Blue Devils to 10 wins in their last 12. Coach K, a chance to clinch his 13th appearance in the Final Four as Duke's coach. That mark would pass the legendary John Wooden for the most all-time. That's your update on the NCAA tournament. When we come back, Alabama football looking to schedule a home-and-home series with some big-time programs. Details on that story in a full sports update coming up next. Our coverage of Birmingham Bulls hockey continues on News Radio 960 WERC.
This is Birmingham Bulls hockey on News Radio 960 WERC.
Late game crunch time for the Cotuit Kettleers, trailing the Falmouth Commodores as we enter the 8th inning. It's 2-1 Falmouth, 9-1-2 due up for the Kets. Humphreys, Robertson, and then Bierman to face a new pitcher on for the Commodores, a left-hander out of Washington State University, A.J. Block, who faces the Kettleers for the second time this season. He came on in relief in the first game on Saturday. A one-inning performance, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and a strikeout. He faces Zach Humphreys to lead things off under the lights here at Gov Fuller Field. Pink skies above on a beautiful Monday night here in Cape Cod as the Kettleers will try and rally down by a run. Traveling Cotuit faithful, encouraging claps for Zach Humphreys, batting from the right side against the lefty in Block. The big left-hander kicks and deals, a strike right at the belt, an 0-1 count to Humphreys.
Yeah, A.J. Block has given up an earned run in each and every appearance except for one. Kind of shaky on the mound this season.
The 0-1 pitch, a breaking pitch that catches the lower part of the zone. A frame there from Maverick Handley, and he's noted of doing that. He really sticks it, and it was good enough for Tony Letizio behind the plate. An 0-2 count on Humphreys. Here's a 2-strike pitch. That time a curveball that bounced at about 57 feet. 1-2 to the TCU backstop.
Yeah, you know how sometimes when a new pitcher comes in, you'll note that their warm-ups were a little shaky? A.J. Block kind of brings out that vibe for me.
The 1-2 to Humphreys, hit in the air to straightaway center. Langworthy has a beat on it. He'll make the catch in shallow center field for the first out of the inning. So Humphreys flies out, leadoff man retired, and the southpaw A.J. Block will face the top of the Kettleers order now. Will Robertson will come to the plate.
Now batting the left fielder from Creighton, number 24.
Will Robertson on the day, 1 for 3, singled back in the 3rd inning. Looking to spark something here in the top of the 8th. Kettleers trail by 1 run against Falmouth. Block out of the windup. First pitch to Robertson, a good curveball that is in there on the low part of the zone. Strike 1. Falmouth, a 1-run lead here late. The 0-1 to Robertson. Excuse me, swing as Robertson unable to connect. He went about 2/3 of the way around, broke the plane. And it's an 0-2 count as Block is dealing early. The big left-hander with the stirrups kicks and deals his 0-2 off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A.J. Block with 4 innings registered on the season out of Bellevue, Washington. 6'5", 215 pounds, a rising junior. Here's his 1-2. Robertson skies it toward right center field. A deep fly ball that's carrying. A deep fly ball that's out of here. That one goes to deep center field. Will Robertson, a solo home run in the top of the 8th to knot things back up at 2.
Have a hit, Will Robertson. Have a home run. How about it? His 2nd of the year, a moonshot to right center field, and we are back in business. 2-2. That was some clutch hitting from Robertson. How about that? A home run in 2 consecutive days. We're all knotted up.
It's Robertson who puts the Kettleers on level terms late in this ball game. A big hit that ties the score at 2. A one-out solo home run to deep right center field, and the Creighton Blue Jay has equalized for Cotuit. One out in the inning and nobody aboard, and it's Zach Bierman who stands in, batting from the left side against the southpaw, and Block, who misses with a breaking pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Robertson's solo home run, his second home run of the season, and that knots this thing up 2 runs apiece. Zach Bierman standing in. He accounted for the other Kettleers run back in the 3rd inning, an RBI sac fly. 1-1 pitch from Block, swing and a miss. Good slider in the dirt, 1-2 now. Falmouth scored 1 in the 6th and then 1 in the 7th. The RBI single from Sims gave them a 1-run lead. There's a swing and a miss from Bierman. He strikes out, couldn't find the breaking pitch there, and that's the second out of the inning. But Robertson's solo home run ties things up here in the 8th. A whole new ball game, 2-2 late. First strikeout of the day for A.J. Block out of the pen, and now he'll be facing Peyton Burdick with 2 outs and nobody on base. Burdick, who came on in the 6th inning as a pinch runner to relieve Brady Smith, he's making his first plate appearance of the evening. Block winds up, kicks and deals. Curveball loops in there for strike 1. Falmouth defense playing straight up on the infield. 0-1 to Burdick, runs inside with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kettleers fell their only other game against Falmouth, a 7-6 defeat in 10 innings back on Friday. Can they find revenge here? The 1-1 to Bird. That's a breaking pitch low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
That was a big-time home run from Will Robertson. You know, back in Chicago, we have a saying, big-time players make big-time plays.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Will Robertson did big-time player.
The 2-1 to Bird, checked his swing. He does go around the plane, according to Ted Letizio, and it is now a 2-2 count. Robertson's big play, the solo shot to tie it up 2-2 here in the top of the 8th. 2 outs and Peyton Burdick at the dish. Facing the lefty Block. Here's a 2-2. Big swing and a miss. He wasn't able to get the fastball. And the second strikeout retires the side. But Will Robertson, a big strike of his own to tie things up at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Kettleers and the Commodores coming right back here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.